Stay tuned for more photo walks from San Diego.
It's day 3 of photo walking in San Diego, and today it's all about the beach. Right now we're in Mission Beach, one of several really cool beaches here in San Diego. We're going to meet up real quick with a great friend of mine, Chris Raney from the Yellow Productions. He's born and bred in San Diego. He's going to show us around and talk to us about some of his favorite beaches. But we're going to start off with a quick detour. One of the great photo highlights in San Diego is the beautiful classic old Point Loma lighthouse. Not exactly on the beach, but it's got quite the view. Let's go check out the lighthouse, and then it's back to the beach. The California coast, of course, is chock full of little beach towns within big cities, and San Diego is no exception. We're going to cover the main ones here, which are Ocean Beach, Mission Beach, Pacific Beach, and La Jolla. I'm starting with an overhead shot for you from Point Loma, which looks so dramatically over the ocean and gives you 2 great viewpoints: the historic lighthouse, which is over 130 years old, and the Pacific Ocean on the other side. Next, we'll drive up the coast and start towards Ocean Beach, which is a funky little town whose best feature, and it's a big one, is the dramatic Sunset Cliffs Natural Park on the Point Loma Peninsula. You remember how we spoke about the Welcome to San Diego mural in part 1 of this episode? We, of course, covered the complete SAN by visiting the Hotel del Coronado, Coronado Bridge and Chicano Park. Then we continued to I, E, and G for Comic-Con and Little Italy, the proximity to Mexico, and Balboa Park. Well, in this episode, we're going to complete the mural, ending with O for Belmont Park and Mission Beach, and starting with D for Sunset Cliffs. Now that happens to be 68 acres of views, hikes, cliff formations, caves, and so much to see. If you really want to live it up, walk down the stairs with your camera to the rocks, which is quite the trip. Ocean Beach itself has a small main street and one of the longest piers in the state. From here, we leave the peninsula and join my pal Chris a few miles up the road in Mission Beach, which is arguably the quintessential classic San Diego beach town, complete with a 2-mile boardwalk and amusement park by the sea. Hey Chris.
Hey Jeff, how's it going?
Great seeing you here in San Diego.
It's good to see you too. Welcome
Belmont
to
Park.
Belmont Park, indeed.
This is the beach episode.
Yeah.
For day 3.
All right.
So that's why we're in front of a merry-go-round.
Right by the beach.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think it was, what was it that you said about this little mini amusement park?
I think this is one of the most iconic places in San Diego, and it's famous for the Giant Dipper right back there, the big wooden roller coaster. You up for going on that a little bit later?
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Yes. And so this is Mission Beach, Belmont Park.
Yes.
How would you define the different little beach communities in San Diego for people who aren't up on it?
Yeah, if we start with Mission Beach, because there's the amusement park here on the beach, this is where probably the teens and the 20s come to hang out, have fun, be seen. Pacific Beach, just up to the north, really San Diego's party beach. So if you're looking for the most bars per capita, you will find that on Pacific Beach right down Garnett Avenue. Mission Beach, where we are here,
yeah,
I think is the kind of more family-friendly of the 3 beaches, because it does have the amusement park. There's also restaurants right on the boardwalk. It is my favorite beach to go to because it also has the most parking. Mission Beach has very large parking lots, where Pacific Beach and Ocean Beach, you're parking miles away because everything is just neighborhood street parking.
Born and bred in San Diego?
For sure.
Okay. But spend most of your time in Orange County?
That's right, Irvine.
Okay. And I'm LA County, so we've got it pretty well covered here for the all of Southern California.
Indeed.
Okay. How would you describe life down here compared to life in the middle?
When people say that San Diego is part of Southern California, San Diegans often get offended because San Diegans want you to know that San Diego is definitely separate from Los Angeles, the smog-filled, traffic-ridden city where everybody's just working all the time. San Diego, much more laid-back, beach-focused city. You know, when the surf's up in San Diego, people say, why am I going to work? Why am I going to school? I'm going to take my surfboard and I'm going to take it out into the water. So really, life in San Diego does revolve around the beaches, the coast, and the water. And just, I think, much more laid back and friendly. The thing that's maybe like a con of San Diego as compared to Orange County or Los Angeles is The new stuff doesn't come here as much. Like big touring bands don't come here because they're like, why would we? Everybody from San Diego can just drive up to Los Angeles. You know, the Chargers left San Diego and they went to Los Angeles and they said, the San Diegans will come. And they won't because they're like, I like it here.
It's California's #2 city. It's the second largest city. Most people don't realize that. If we walked up to 20 people now and asked them to name the second largest city, they're going to say
San Francisco.
Right.
Right.
And not even close.
Yeah.
Number 4.
No. Yeah, there's so much to do in San Diego, and I think a lot of people who also aren't from here or haven't visited think it's just a small beach town or small beach city because they see a few scenes of it, but yeah, there's an incredible amount of stuff to do here.
And now a quick word from our sponsor as we welcome Mylio Photos back to PhotowalksTV. Thank you, Mylio, for supporting PhotoWalks, and thank you for offering us a pretty cool alternative to big tech. As regular readers of the newsletter know, I have been on a tear lately against the idea of only storing your photos online. You need to have physical access to them, because what happens if Google, Amazon, Apple, you name it, what happens if they turn on you? Where are your pictures, right? Mylio is software that marries the traditional hard drive with online access. There's a free 30-day trial. I urge all PhotoWalks viewers to give them a try.
So the highlight of Mission Beach is definitely Belmont Park and riding the roller coaster, which we're going to do a little bit later, but it's this classic wooden roller coaster, and it's probably a little bit more bumpy and faster than you might think by looking at it.
We will be boarding that classic wooden coaster in a minute, but first I want to show you 2 of the other San Diego beaches that we haven't yet covered, Pacific Beach and La Jolla. The big photo highlight of Pacific Beach is the pier, which appears to be gated off, but it's not. The pier is open to pedestrians and even travelers who might want to sleep overnight on the pier. How many places can you do that? But, of course, it's not cheap. Rates start at $400 nightly. The view of the San Diego beach cities from the pier is free, however, and it's a beauty. Last stop before we return to Mission Beach, La Jolla, the jewel of the beach cities, with 3 must-see photo spots. The children's pool is where you'll probably find a bunch of sea lions and seals lounging. The Scripps Pier is a research pier, and thus it is off limits to people wanting to walk over it, but you can take all the pictures you want underneath. It's rare to see a pier made from concrete, so it's a different look and worth your while. Finally, the Wind and Sea Shack stems back to the 1940s when some surfing soldiers erected it, and it's remained in place ever since. And now back to Belmont Shores and that historic roller coaster. Okay, photo tip time. Let's talk about 4 of my favorite images from this production, beginning with the Point Loma Lighthouse. Now, I took dozens and dozens of photos of this lighthouse, but in the end, it comes down to the old timing is everything, because it wasn't until after the sun had fallen and the sky started to get darker that I hit gold. Now, I added emphasis on this by editing the photo in Adobe Lightroom Mobile, where I used the dehaze and black sliders to darken the sky even more and help that Fresnel light shine just a little brighter. This shot of the Ocean Beach Pier hits another dimension with simple editing in both Lightroom, where I converted it to black and white, and a plugin for the computer called Radiant Imaging Labs. Check it out. For the Wind and Sea structure, the process was exactly the same, Lightroom and Radiant. As for the crazy roller coaster footage, well, you can thank the Insta360 camera, which has 2 lenses that shoot in front and in back at the same time to get the shots of me and Chris and what we saw on the ride. Insta360 has a cool app on the computer or on the phone that lets you turn the world upside down with a click, which is kind of how I saw the ride. One more time.
Chris, that was so intense. That was really intense and really bumpy.
Yeah, it is bumpy and fast too, isn't it?
Yes, and really hard to hold a selfie stick steady when it's doing that. There's no warm-up, it's just boom.
No, you'll definitely want your hands on that roller coaster.
But I'm glad it's still running. You know, a lot of wooden coasters, you know, went away.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic.
And we didn't fly off the cars or anything?
We didn't
so
fly
that was
off
good.
the cars, we didn't get stuck, so it's all good. Thank you for joining me here at the beach. For day
My
3
pleasure.
of my San Diego visit here, there's way more to do than any human being could do in 3 days, that's for sure.
San Diego's a big place.
So we'll have to come back for day 4 and day 5.
That sounds good.
Meanwhile, check out your San Diego videos at Yellow Productions, youtube.com/Yellow Productions.
YouTube.com/@Yellow Productions, yeah.
Okay, your new handle.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And stay tuned if you haven't watched day 1 and day 2 of San Diego. Please stay tuned for those, or any of our other recent PhotoWalks channels. Look for me on Twitter, believe it or not, still there, at Jefferson Graham. Chris?
At Chris Raney on Twitter, yeah.
And subscribe, like, share, comment, and let's go have dinner.
That sounds good.
Okay.
All right.